All right, let's get an update now where the count stands tonight. We've had some takeaways too on that very decisive wall-to-wall no vote. Sky News election analyst Tom Connell with the latest.
The simplest rule of thumb in this referendum, the further you live away from a capital city, the more likely you'll vote no, and in high numbers as well. So let's take a look at New South Wales. 60% for no, starting off in the regional areas, the furthest out from Sydney. Some Labor electorates here were won in the 2022 election, but no yes electorates. This is a wall of no in this referendum. Okay, so let's get a little bit closer in. The surrounds here, including the New South Wales coast, a lot of Labor red here at the last election in this referendum. The two ones here, the two yes examples, they're essentially the two city centres in this area. They've voted yes, the rest are all no. So this is telling, this is continuing this pattern. Then we get a little bit closer. Let's go to the southeast. So here's Sydney. Here's where we're looking at in these particular electorates. A lot of Labor ones, in particular, closer to Sydney, so that the urban fringes, if you like, how they voted, almost all no except for Kingswood Smith. So again, a lot of territory here. The yes camp would have wanted to be winning and they haven't. Then we get into the friendliest sort of areas, if you like, the inner sort of Sydney and also the west as well. So we've got the teal seats here, obviously. We've got inner city, then we've got the west. And you can see here at the referendum, they've held up better. They've got a wall of yes, but then it hits no as soon as you get to those suburbs. So that trend has been pretty obvious. Then we get to Victoria. Let's have a look, because we've got a similar situation in Victoria. Regional, fewer seats, a much smaller state geographically, and these are not going to be friendly, you'd think, to Labor. No, so they're all no electorates this time around. We get a little bit closer in though, Melbourne surround. So we're seeing a lot of Labor suburbs in sort of some of these population centres, Bendigo, Ballarat, with some Liberal. How have they voted this time around? How many can the Yes campaign get? None of them. Not a single electorate in these clusters around the Melbourne area. So that already tells you they're well and truly behind the eight ball on that. Then we get a little bit closer. Let's go to the north and west. Again, this is all Labor now, not a single Liberal or national electorate from the last federal election. How are they voting? You can see it's getting better. At least they've got some yes representation, but still two they've missed out on. And the telling thing as well within that, let's just pop in quickly to the seat of Scullin. And the issue is, it's not that they've just lost it, 62.9% have voted no. So that tells you there's a lot of ground to make up when we get closer to the city. And let's do that right now. So when we go to the east and south, you're talking Melbourne City here, a green seat, couple of teal seats, Kooyong and Goldstein. Then we're getting a bit further out to the suburbs. So this has to be a wall of green if the yes case is going to win. As you can see, it's a slither. There's plenty of seats in there, but there's also plenty that have ended up voting no. And the other issue within all of that is some of the margins there. So we've seen some huge margins, 75, 80% in a lot of these regional areas. When we look across the nation now, Victoria is the best yes state at 45%. You can see all the others now have a 6 in front of them, a real show of the strength of the no vote across the country.